Here we are. So first thing you're going to do is turn on the power and close up the refrigerators and freezers so that we can put our food away pretty soon. And here's the box and the switch here. And back here. Now we're going to get ready to turn on the water. So I'm going to put the plug back in the two traps under the kitchen and the bathroom. I'm under the kitchen. This line here delivers water to the toilet, and in the winter I disconnect this and leave this open, of course. And so you need to reconnect this before you get the water going. Before you turn on the well water, make sure that this valve is closed. This is the intake coming in to the house. So if you leave that open, even though you don't have water going into the house because this is closed this way, it'll spew out there. Sorry. I'm going to close it so that when I turn on the water over at 106, it won't be coming to this cottage yet. So I can control it when I turn it on, because I have to go around and close a lot of valves. So over to 106. There's our well, a little blue mushroom thing. And it sits in between Lori's cottage and 99, which is back in there. And then there's pipes that go to 106 and to 99. But the power supply for the well is at 99. 106. Down to the back of 106. There's a hot water heater with the valve open. Close it. There, right here. Here's the hot water heater. Here's a pressure tank. This valve is open. I'm going to close it. And the shower has a valve. This valve is open and I'm going to close it. That releases the water. So these are things that have to be reversed in the winter. You have to open this. Open this. And open this. The switch for the well is in the breaker panel in the front bedroom of Karen and Jesse's, and it says well water. This is their hot water. So well water, it's a double switch. Once you've turned on the well water, you've got to run around and turn off all the open taps, like that one. This one under the front porch, barbecue deck, and of course the shower, and the kitchen sink, and the bathroom sink. And the toilet will be empty, but you push this lever down a tiny bit, and that loads it all the way and flushes it. And maybe have to seal it up a wee bit. Okay, so I'm behind Jesse and Karen's again. If they close first, they'll turn this off, and that cuts the supply to their house, and then they can drain all their system. But when you close, then you'll need to come over here and open this and open this so that they don't freeze up and blow up. Now I'm behind your cottage. If you close first, you'll turn this off, close this down, then you're cutting off the supply to the cottage. And when they close, they'll come and open this up for you. They'll also need to leave this open for you. Okay, propane. So here's the kitchen deck again. Here's the propane tanks. Let's see. Oh, that's good. Lots of propane. Excellent. I'll just turn these on. Okay. This is just like your barbecue if you've got one of those things. The woman that runs the variety store, the Bayshore Variety, his name's Sue. Anyway, she does an exchange. So when you need to fill them up, you can take an empty one in and come back with a full one. Okay, so the propane is for the stove and oven. And I'm just going to put these out of the way in the sink. It takes a few minutes for the gas to get here. Anyway, the pilot is that little nipple guy right there. Right there. And all you do is hold a match to it until it sustains itself at the flame. And then test it by turning on the burners. Right? And then there's a pilot in the oven too. I'll show you in a minute. Sometimes you get a little clogged up, so I'm just got a safety pin and I'm trying to clear any gunk out of there. There they go. Now for the oven, there's a gizmo way back there, and it kind of hangs down. Got it. See? I don't know if you can see it. It's back there. Let's get the flame in there. There we go. So now the oven's ready to go. So a little tour of the yard. So we park, here's a parking car, okay? Here's a little shed for beach chairs, tables, stuff like that. Scrap wood. Some stands for beach umbrellas. Here's where we keep the flamingos. Little hothouse we did last year. Tried to do some tomatoes. Oh. If you start really early with tomatoes that actually have already flowered, and you buy those at the nursery, you might get some tomatoes. I put this roof on this little hothouse for the winter so the snow didn't collapse the plastic ceiling. Other stuff. We have bird feeders. And keep the bird seed in these little bins. There's the sailboat over there. And the mast for the sailboat's over here. Tiller, boom, stuff like that. Sails are in the shed. We're gonna get there. This is where I was keeping the wind toys and chipmunk toys. And I'm gonna put those there. Okay. Here's the kitchen door. These vertical 2x4s are to hold a privacy fence. And the privacy fence for the winter is sitting inside this little shower privacy fence. And yeah, I've got it screwed in just to keep it from falling. And it just sits, I'm gonna put it up later, it just sits on these posts. And I just tack it in with some screws. I take this privacy fence down because in the thaw, the snow slides off the roof and crashes into it. Lisa's cousin Peter and I made these fun things last year to identify each of these cans. So recycling, cardboard, and bottles. This didn't weather very well. There's the shower. Hot water heater. Put this panel back on. There's a lot of rain gutters which I haven't got to yet. We'll leave you the name and number of a fellow who might do that for you along with the raking. There's a lot of raking. It takes quite a while. Here's the shed. And you're gonna get, we're gonna leave lawn tools and splitting maul, hatchet, sweet saw, sprinklers. I think I'll leave some of this plumbing stuff. This is good to put in the bottom of the toilet, just around the seal, even though you don't need to do much for that for our toilet. This boogie boards, lots of beach toys for little people. This is all offcuts from recycled, decks that have come down. That's where I store the logs when we get a cord of wood. But I'm still going through all this scrap wood. A little place for the kindling. A little table saw someone gave. And that's oh yeah, and here's the chipmunk playground. Olive knows all about this. And there's a composter. So we've just circumnavigated the cottage. Under here, all these things. These are for, I've been putting lettuce in these things. Tomatoes, lettuce, herbs, whatever you want. These nice little guys fit on the rails of the porch for flowers. Our barbecue works with charcoal. I try to get lump charcoal, but it's hard to get. Here's something without accelerants. We have a couple of these little barbecue woks, great for grilling vegetables. Chimney. Newspaper in the bottom. Coals. Light it. And when flames come up over here, at the top of here, flip it over into the bottom. There's a good place to put the hot chimney after you take it off the grill on that little cement slab. When there's no flames, and white coals. It's time to cook. Put the lid on if you want to make the barbecue become more of an oven, and there's a vent controller here. You can slow it down. I usually just leave it open. It's a good way to check it. See that you've got a really hot fire going in there. Something to play with. Takes a lot longer than a gas grill. It's sort of like a campfire thing. This is the day we wash our clothes. I roll the little washing machine out from the screened-in porch in the back, and connect the intake pipe to the spigot. There's the drain pipe. Goes in this pipe that lives here. It runs under the deck and connects to an extension, and then disconnect that extension and store it under the cottage. Simple to run. Just select your cycle, whatever you want, water level, and start it. Use cold water only, because we only have cold water coming into this thing. Okay, we're inside the washing machine. Just took the top off. This goes here, and it broke. It split on both ends, and so the intake comes in the top of this thing and then gets into the machine. It was leaking. So I don't have any of this stuff. So I just taped it up with what I had, which was tarp repair tape, and I'm gonna clamp it back on and hope for the best. You can already see how short it is. I've had to cut it before. This is 5/8 inches in here.